left, nothing safe, not even a crust. All aboard for a fat boy trip, and you can call me captain. Don't forget the paper plates and the stack of napkins. P-I-C-C-A, P-A-R-T-Y. P-I-C-C-A, P-A-R-T-Y. Pizza party, pizza party. Gonna have a good time. Pizza party, pizza party. Have a sip of red wine. Yeah!
Ciao, paisans! Woo! It's July, baby. We are back, number 7, and this monkey is going to heaven. Let me take a look at you. You're looking good. Yeah, oh, look at that. Nice haircut. Very nice. Smelling good. Oh, we are ready to party. I got the pizza in the oven. It's hot down here in the mozzarella mausoleum, so I had to do a little bit of extra gel. I hope it's presentable for all of you. Ladies and gents and everybody else, I've missed you. I love you very much, and we are going to have a time today. Woo! We got Uncle Marty. He's back. God knows what he's going to do. And ladies and gentlemen, one of the reasons Joey Royale is Joey Royale. One of the reasons I do this, I do that. I got one of my idols on today. They say never meet your idols. Forget about it. This guy is legit. Reverend Doc Ultimac, Mr. Crawl. Can you believe it? Woo! I'm moving up in the world. I got big talent this time. I love meeting my idols. I met John Waters once. I thought he was my idol. Then you met him. I'd rather hang out with Dak. Here we go. So I stole his mustache. That's what I got from there. I got you, Mr. Waters. I showed you who's boss. Let's jump into it. Why are we here, boys and girls? Because of the greatest role-playing game of all time. It's just one of my many copies of this tome of fantastic knowledge, the Dungeon Crawl Classics role-playing game. If you are new to the Pizza Party, we talk about all sorts of stuff, all relating to gaming, whether it be playing games, running games, or writing or illustrating games. It's about the magic of creativity. And boy, we're going to jump right into it because we got a lot of creative stuff going on today. Ready? Enter, if you will. Do not fear. Do not be frightened. Come inside and be enlightened. Welcome to the Crypt of Cool. This is the part of the show where I introduce you to some things that I've been digging into that have inspired me lately in writing, in painting, in walking down the street, in doing cannonballs at the beach, whatever you're going to do in your free time. Let's get a little fancy, all right? How about this? I picked this up for $1 at the used bookstore. I'll tell you, I'm a big-time Life fan. From the Mysteries of the Unknown to those beautiful fantasy books with the scary covers, I started to dig into the art world a little bit. And today, we're going to briefly hit upon this book I came upon, The World of Bruegel. Listen, I don't speak Dutch. I know that's not how you pronounce it. He's not German. So let's just call him Bruegel, okay? Work with me here. But if you haven't ever gotten into Bruegel, check him out. If you're a DCC fan, he's going to resonate with you. Him and Hieronymus Bosch, another awesome guy. But I'll tell you, I was fingering through this book, and some of the stuff that popped up in here blew my mind. Now, Bosch came first, and then Bruegel. We're talking 16th century Netherlands, all right? And we're getting, oh man, some of the stuff in here is just so awesome, but I wanted to share a couple of pictures with you. Here we go. This one is Bruegel, Mad Meg, 1562. You know, it's not going to translate so well, but it's like a Black Sabbath cover. You got so much crazy stuff going on in here. All you need to do is just look at one corner of this picture, and I guarantee you, you will have a scene ready for a game. You know, I wasn't around back in the days of peasants and whatnot back in the 17th, 16th century, but I'll tell you, Bruegel gives a very good look at what things look like back there. Chaos! There is so much stuff going on in this, and I love it because it's not nice. There's a lot of darkness here. There's a lot of wicked people doing crazy stuff, a lot of people in misery, and a lot of the stuff in his paintings were translated from common sayings of the day. So like, you know, I don't know, don't put the cart before the horse. He'll have like a cart dragging a horse across the street. So that's pretty cool stuff. And then I'm sure if you're a DCC fan, oh, here's one of my favorites. I always think the Brandolin Red in this one, A Peasant Wedding. You know, it just gives a good picture of what things looked like back then. You can translate into your game. And then, of course, Hieronymus Bosch. That guy will give you nightmares. If you're into some creepy stuff, that's the guy that started it all. Forget about all the stuff you see now, Slenderman and all that. You go look at a Hieronymus Bosch book before you go to sleep at night. Boom, you're going to enter another dimension. So there's some cool stuff there. Let me tell you about this. For me, the summer is time for short stories. I always go deep down into the Ray Bradbury libraries that I got. And because, you know, you're just sitting at the beach, you're sitting at the pool, and you don't have a lot of time because you don't want the kid to drown in the pool. So I got to pay attention. So I do short stories. And here are two things that I highly recommend if you're into horror, contemporary horror short stories. The first one I can't say enough about. One of the best books I've read in 10 years. North American Lake Monsters by Nathan Ballingrud. This guy is amazing. This is cryptids, aliens, vampires, things from beyond the veil. Short ones, quick ones, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, check this one out. Highly recommended. North American Lake Monsters. I think actually they did a television series based on some of these stories. The next one I literally picked up last week, and I'm recommending it to you after only reading the first story because it was so good. It had a very weird frontiers feel to it. What's up, Beatty? Packing boxes, saving cats, and putting out fires like a madman. I love you. Here you go. This guy has a bunch of books out, short stories. Brian Evanson, A Collapse of Horses. I love it from the name alone. It caught my eye. But man, scary, disturbing stuff. You know, they don't pour it on too thick. It just seeps into your brain. Very neat stuff there. So if you're into some interesting books, yes, Magic Mike did, my friend, falling asleep at the beach. Watch out for that. That hits a little bit too close for home. They rushed Joey Royale to the hospital for falling asleep at the beach last week. I swear in my mother's eyes. I'm all right. I'm back. I told the big man I got a show to put on, brother. No, the big woman upstairs. I got a show to put on, sister. Don't let me die. There's that. Oh, I forgot. All right, Scott Cthulhu, one of our loyal viewers, good friend of mine. I just met him on here, and we go back and forth. Guys, I can't believe this. I got choked up when I opened the box. You ready for this? I don't think you're ready for this. I got a box of these things. Hey, Madone! Look at that, Scotty boy! Joey Royale's Pizza Party Chef's Kiss T-shirts! They're gonna be out and about. Keep your eyes peeled. Ooh, Scotty boy, I love you. Speaking of Scott, serendipitous. Remember last time I was running my mouth about Bruce Springsteen, how I was gonna turn Born to Run into an adventure module. I'm still working on it, but the creepiness of summer got in my brain. I don't know about you, but summer always. Oh, there's Scott. Scott's in the chat. I love you, buddy. Everybody give Scott a round of applause. So listen, I was thinking, okay, I'm going to do this Born to Run, futuristic, post-apocalyptic, kind of thing. But in the summer, I get back into my EC Comics, my famous Monsters of Filmland mode. I become a monster kid again. And lo and behold, he sent me some beautiful Cramps postcards as well. Right as I was translating my Born to Run zine into, check this out. This is my new thing. Stay Sick, a bad game for bad people. This is my attempt at a kind of a love letter to the Cramps in an RPG. All right. You play a juvenile delinquent at night. You turn into a creep. And it's all based on Cramps lyrics. It's 12 pages. You can get it for $3 on drive-through. And because you're watching the show, just email me. Email me and I'll send it to you for free because we're all family here and we take care of each other. Lord Blood, LORDBLUDD @gmail.com. You get it on the house. Don't pay for it. I'll send it to you, okay? I love you. So this is based on Tunnel Goons. I would love to do a DCC skin, but this thing would be like, boom, boom, boom. You see what Beatty did. I can't do that right now, all right? I'm barely staying alive. So I did a 12-page jammer based on Tunnel Goons. It's fun, all right? You can play it with your friends, or you can throw it on a campfire and keep yourself a little bit warm over the summer. It won't keep you too warm. So we got that. This was beautiful too. He sent me a picture of my Gumati over here, Lenticular Elvira. Wasn't she the best, guys? You remember Elvira? I was lucky to be an 80s kid. You know, I got Elvira over here. I got Pee Wee Herman over there. He-Man. What a wonderful time. That reminds me. Stat it up! It's time. Stat it up, ladies and gentlemen. Remember this guy? Here he is in his mission chamber, Colonel Steve Austin. We can rebuild him. We have the technology, right? Well, I don't think you remember him because nobody submitted a stat it up. I had to do it myself. I closed the door to my office. I pulled down the screen. I said, Joey's busy. Hold on the brain surgery. I can't come in now. Have the patient wait. Because Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm a emergency room surgeon. Only Tuesdays and Thursdays I give him my time. The rest of the time I'm working on this show for you. It takes a whole month to prepare. So they didn't like Steve Austin. You love Stinkor. You love Moss Man. That's all right. I did it myself. All right. Thank you for putting me to work. Hey, Elena, can we put up the stat it up for Colonel Steve Austin? All right. Thank you very much. I got to pull it up on my screen over here. Now, listen, I got weird with Steve Austin. All right. I just didn't want to do the Bionic Man. I had to do things a little different. So what I made him, I'll just read it to you. Hold on. I got to bring it up over here. All right. The Bionic Man. He's not the Bionic Man here, though. He is the man in the red jumpsuit returned. All right. I read it to you quick. The Star Wizards beamed the broken man to the Star Chamber from the crumbled tower where he was betrayed. Each of the wizards took turns implanting power gems within his body. For 6 days, they chanted. On the 7th day, the man in the red jumpsuit awoke to do their bidding in the past, present, and future. All right, so this guy, he's a weird thing that you can throw in your adventure. Use him anytime. So we'll get, forget about the numbers and all that. But here's the cool thing. They stuck 7 gems in him. No, 6 gems in him. $6 million man. So I stuck 6 gems all over his body. All right. And if you encounter him, maybe he'll be a friend. Maybe he'll be a foe. And if you're smart enough to get rid of this guy, you can dig in his body and take out the gems. And each gem will give you a superpower like the eagle eye. Strength to lift 1,000 pounds. Imagine what you can do with that. You got the gem of the Pegasus that gives you speed and the super jump. Remember the jum, 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 jum. Remember that time you ripped Andre the Giant's arm off as the Bionic Bigfoot? Probably not. You probably didn't even watch it. That's why I didn't get any submissions. Gem of Scutum, AC of 18. Scutum. That's, I think, Greek for shield. I went to this list of constellations and I jammed them in here. It's as easy as that. Gem of Fornax, you get a con of 18. And then the gem of Pluton, you can detect radiation and magic. So this guy's a real weirdo. The only way to get him down to really get him, I'll just tell you the secret. You got to get him cold because he doesn't do well around cold. Everything kind of sticks. So that's how you get him. All right. So there you go. There's your Colonel Steve Austin, the man with the red jumpsuit. Use him as you will. He's going to end up as a free thing for all of you. Stat it up for next week. Oh, all the way from the 1964 Aurora model kit that I painted when I was 12 years old. I still got him. My mom didn't throw him away. Here he is. Oh, the creature from the Black Lagoon. What a beauty, huh? I didn't do too bad for a 12-year-old. Huh? I got to fill in some parts here and there, but he's fun. He fell off the base. I got so excited for the show. I got to glue him on afterwards. So if you're so inclined and you want to be on the show, why don't you stat up Creature from the Black Lagoon? Stat him up. Make a bunch of people happy. Yeah, Gil. Here he is, Gil. The Creature from the Black Leather Lagoon. Speaking about the cramps. All right, we're on a roll today. Now, Cousin Marty's knocking at the door. I'm going to have him in a second. All right. Finish your Stromboli first. Don't come in here with the sauce all over you again. Let's do a wisdom check. All right. First, we're going to start with one of my favorites. Just a little quick pick me up here. Steal Like an Artist by Austin Kleon. His words, not mine. Let's go. Lou, how you doing, buddy? All right. This is going to come up later on. I want to talk to the Rev about this too. But here's a quote in here. I pulled this morning when I was having my Captain Crunch with Crunch Berries. If you eat Captain Crunch without crunch berries, there's something wrong with you. I still like you, but what's the point? You just want to rip up the roof of your mouth? Have a little fun. Put the berries in the cereal. You like that, Elena? All right. This is weird. I don't know how I feel about this, but this is something I've been chewing on. So step 1, wonder at something. Step 2, invite others to wonder with you when you're creating. The more open you are about sharing your passions, the closer people will feel to your work. Artists aren't magicians. There's no penalty for revealing your secrets. Some of the coolest people I've met in the DCC community have been people that have opened their doors to me, both figuratively and literally. Hey, if you ever need something, reach out to me if you want to ask questions. I have no idea what I'm doing with formatting, with stats, with gaming in general. I'm learning from all of you. So keep that in mind. Always reach out to somebody in this community because there's a lot of people here to help you. I'm going to talk about that with Dak later on too. But what they also talk about here is going online with your stuff. I was not a Facebook guy. I like Instagram a little bit, but Facebook, I get too distracted and it takes away from my work time. And there's a lot of garbage on there. I don't want to go on there and hear like my crazy uncle at Thanksgiving after he's had too many glasses of the Cabernet, but there's something to be said about the communities that are built out there. Cousin Marty made me start a WHPA Fairhaven community page, like the town that we're making up for the public access game. And like, I've met the coolest people and they're keeping this town alive. So I am back on the internet. The internet can be more than just a resting place to publish your finished ideas. It can also be an incubator for ideas that aren't fully formed, a birthing center for developing work that you haven't started yet. A lot of artists worry that being online will cause them to make less work, but I found that having a presence online is a kick in the pants. I've been neglecting my Fairhaven community people. And this week, one of my friends, Michael Francis from Down Under, sent me some stuff. He's like, Joey, what do you think? Should we post this? What are you going to do? He said, he's like, what are you going to do to support this? And I needed that kick in the pants. He said it like a gentleman, like, hey, why don't you do something to add on to this? And I needed that to keep the creativity going because you know what kind of world it is. You can get sidetracked very easy online and in normal life. So reach out to friends, get your feedback and have them build off of it. That's why I love the third party scene of Dungeon Crawl Classics. And I love something like Nate Trem's Tunnel Goons, where he's like, take it for free, do anything you want with it, make it yours. Very inspiring. And that's what makes it a great community. We're going to move from Cleon back into the Stoics. And today our wisdom check is from Seneca. And it's kind of related because it's under the umbrella of friendship. Okay. But it's also under productivity. That's how I'm looking at it, through the creative lens as a game creator and as a game player. Okay. Another reprehensible pair is the man who is never at ease and the man who is always at ease. There's your dichotomy. Bustle is not briskness, but the agitation of a turbulent mind. And the disdaining all activity as a nuisance is not ease, but enervation and inertia. So you got two sides there. You got the people that are always bustling. That's because they have an uncomfortable mind. And then you got the people that are just laying back. All right. The two attitudes should temper one another. The easygoing man should act. The active man should take it easy. Consult nature. I love this part. Consult nature. She will tell you that she created both day and night. I don't know if you're like me, but I'm either up, way up, like you see me here, or I'm way down. I'm either pushing myself to create too much, or I'm not pushing myself enough because I'm doubting myself. Try to find that healthy balance. I'm not preaching to you, but I'm just saying if you're struggling, we all want to create. That's our job. Why else should we wake up? Make stuff, make friendships, make stuff that makes the world even more beautiful. But don't push yourself too hard or you burn yourself out. All right. I'm sure you're doing awesome things. And whatever you're doing, I'm going to love it. And I want you to come on the show and share it with everybody. Okay. So come over to the pizza party, share your work that you're doing. One more thing I want to share with you, something that I've gotten back into as I've been reflecting on my time as a judge and as a player. This DCC module does not get enough attention. Right here, Doom of the Savage Kings. And I wanted to bring this up because I recently was going through some of my modules I haven't cracked in a while. And I haven't cracked this in a while, not because of disinterest, or it's because I had such an amazing experience the first time I ever ran this. I consider this the first time I became a real judge, that I had to act on the fly, that I had to adjudicate to support the narrative. Right here, okay? Quick story. I was just starting out in role-playing games in general. I didn't start playing till like, what am I now, 30, 42? Probably started playing 10 years ago. I'm a relative newcomer. I started with DCC. And I ran a bunch of friends, guys that became close friends of mine that I didn't know at the time. We just were all mutual friends of each other. And I ran Sailors on the Starless Sea, which, chef's kiss. If you play it, you love it. There's nothing like that in the world. And that's a great starting point for a beginning judge. You get everybody through, you figure out how to run a fantasy role-playing game. You know, you ease yourself into the magic and the leveling up in battle and all that. But then I was at a point where these guys wanted to keep on playing. I'm like, oh, geez, I never ran anything other than a funnel before, guys. Because I was training myself to be a judge by running multiple people through funnels, through all the beautiful funnels, Brendan's funnels, this funnel. So then I got to the point where these guys had their characters, their one character that survived, and we had to go. They wanted to adventure more. I pulled this off the shelf, and it was scary because there's a lot of sandbox elements to this. All right. This is my perfect kind of adventure because you have to fill in the blanks. Harley challenges you. It's a beautiful setting. The NPCs, there's a list of NPCs in there and how to play them. That was such a huge help to me as a beginner judge. And I've used that in everything since. This is the one DCC module I think that has really affected me in terms of writing, building characters, personalities, but not giving the judge too much. That like me, I was nervous. I'm like, oh, I got to do this. I got to do that. I got to stick to this. This has enough open space to be beautiful. This has so much tension, and you can't trust anybody, or mostly anybody, in the village of, we call it Hero. I'm not really sure how to pronounce it, but we took a little French turn on it, Hero, Hirot. But there's so many memorable characters here, memorable NPCs. You can't trust anybody. There's so much exploration, but it's compact enough. I mean, look, this is not a huge module, but like I said, I got so much out of this. Highly recommend it as reading material and running a game right after you get them out of a funnel and you got some fresh blood that really want to get their feet in the sand and make a name for themselves in the DCC world. So Harley, thank you for another beautiful piece of art. And look at Doug. Come on, Doug, what are you going to do? Unbelievable. That'd be a great chess piece for old Joey Royale. Don't threaten me with a good time. All right. Marty! Elena, could you unlock the door for Marty? Hey, Cooge.
Oh.
Casanich, what are you doing over there with your goosebumps?
You got me inspired to start reading more books, so I picked up a couple of books at the old thrift store, too.
What do you got? Which one is that over there?
It's a Night in Tower, Terra Tower.
Terra Tower? Terra Tower.
Yeah, it's a Goosebumps. You ever heard of these?
I love Goosebumps. You kidding me?
So, Joey.
What's going on over there in the blacklight basement?
I got inspired.
You got inspired, Maron. What is, geez, here we go. What'd you get inspired by, Marty? You found a new carpet supplier?
Well, I went to jail over the Olive Garden fiasco.
Oh my God, that's right.
The Hoboken police showed up and I had a couple outstanding warrants, nothing to worry about, but apparently it was a big deal. So I had to do 30 days at the old county lockup.
So I guess when you were there, you were not family.
Not at all, Joey. It was awful. It was just nothing but breadsticks.
Oh my God.
Marinara. It was a nightmare.
You had to eat
too many
dry.
breadsticks. But when I came out, I heard all these kids talking about this creepy, spooky thing show, and this Eddie Munster guy. So I figured I would
Oh,
model my my new look off of this Eddie Munster from Creepy Things or whatever.
yeah. I think it's called Stranger Things, but you're close.
Yeah, and they go into the flip side down.
Yeah,
Do some dance moves or something.
Yeah, you're close, bud. You're close.
But fortunately, I rented some movies back in '92, and I haven't taken them back yet. So I got to watch them when I got out of the old slammer. So I figured I'd talk about them a little bit while I'm sitting here with you today.
Now, Pizza Party friends, if you don't know, if you haven't been here before and you haven't met my cousin Marty, Marty's our local movie hound, amongst other things. And tell him what you do for a living, Marty, just in case you get free.
Come on down to the Hoboken half off. I forgot what I even called it. I've been in the slammer for so long. I sell carpets in the Holland Tunnel outside of Hoboken. Tunnel. Yeah.
Beautiful shag.
Barely
the
used.
Best shag rug you can get in the Tri-County area.
Yeah, I should. I don't remember. It's been a long time. I think the police impounded it.
Oh, God forbid it. Where am I going to get my shag? I got to get something.
I still got a guy. We can get some carpets.
All right. So, tell me about, you got some movies, huh? That you never returned to the mom and pop. What do you got? No face. Listen, Marty, no faces of death this time. Go.
Well, okay. Now you got to give me a minute. So what if I told you the Satanic Panic, they were right?
Oh boy, Marty, you're getting close to my heart here.
This movie came out called Black Roses.
Oh, tell me about this, Marty.
A hair metal, heavy metal, demonic group that comes to town, scares all the moms and the teachers. Come to find out, they are demons and they're sucking the souls out of the kids.
Oh my God. What year is that one, Marty?
I don't know. It's 90 minutes though.
It's 90 minutes. Okay, tell them about 90 minutes, Marty.
Every movie is perfect at 90 minutes. No more, no less.
No, you can tell the quality of a movie, not by the actors, not by the awards, but if it hits 90 minutes, no more, no less, you're in heaven. Black Roses.
Too far. Black Roses. Is the name of the band in the group.
Okay.
How's the metal? I mean, it's awful. It's hair metal at its finest.
Like Queensryche?
Sure.
All right. I know you're more of a Cannibal Corpse guy. I don't even know if you get the reference.
I don't think I've ever honestly heard a Queensryche song in my life.
If it doesn't have to do with disemboweling, cousin Marty hasn't listened to it.
That's true.
All right. What else you got?
So
you got Black Roses,
but it's very well known. You probably can't see, but the special effects in this are unbelievable stuff. It's not really good when the acting and everything else, the 30-year-old teens in it and whatever, but watch it for the effects.
Practical effects all the way, Marty.
Unbelievable movie. Yeah. Very sought after. I honestly don't know if it's not on anything but VHS.
But VHS. All right.
Keeping up with the Satanic Panic, picked up Evil Speak.
Oh, I love Evil Speak.
Unfortunately, Marty, it's another Betamax, so I couldn't watch it. But I heard about this thing.
You got class, Marty.
I heard about this thing called streaming. I thought it was like down by the river. I looked in for the movie, but I couldn't find it. But apparently, you can watch this on the internet.
Yeah, you don't need to put the little index card in the cable box anymore. You can watch. They have like channels now where you don't have to wait.
So I watched it on this Shudder channel.
Yeah,
had Evil Speak. Clint Howard is a troubled youth. He turns to the internet and ends up summoning a demon through the computer.
So I got to tell you something, Marty. This hits me. So for like 2 years, I was doing internet sleuthing to figure out, because when I was a kid, one afternoon in the 80s, it was on, or early 90s, it was on TV at my grandmother's house. She was in the other room doing the checkbook, and I was stuck in front of the TV. And I'll never forget this. The only thing I knew about the movie is they got him on the cross, right? They're in a church. Jesus is on the cross. Boom! Right out of the wrist. The nail goes right through the guy's head. I was an altar boy at the time. I could not be in the church alone. Go start the incense. You go start the incense, Father. I'm not going in alone. I could get a nail in the head. I remember that. Oh, man.
Very, very awesome movie.
I
I'm
love
not
that
taking it
movie.
back. I'm not
I
taking it
love
back.
that movie.
Even though I can't watch this one, I'm not taking it back.
All right.
I mean, the cover art is unbelievable on that thing.
It is. It's gorgeous. And you got the, he was also wonderful in Star Trek and the Ice Cream Man. You can't go wrong with him.
Ice Cream Man's one of my top all-time favorite movies.
Perfect. Perfect. And yes, Luau Lu, Silent Lucidity is a beautiful song. I don't hate Queensryche, to each their own. Silent Lucidity is great for slow dancing at a junior high school dance. So nice to see you as well, Luau Lu. I hope you're enjoying your summer.
Queensryche, didn't they do Bohemian Rhapsody?
No, oh geez. Look, oh boy, you got to go to a museum this summer. Hey, I wanted to show you something. Scott Cthulhu. I gotta show you this, Marty. Look what I got. I got Jodorowsky money.
Jodorowsky money right there.
Look at that.
And we had Loot the Body on the other show, and
Yes.
we said Jodorowsky right. I was pretty impressed with how we said it.
Jodorowsky.
We never talked about it.
Yeah. We're like two savants.
Yeah, because
over
I was
there.
like, Alejandro Jodorowsky, and he's like, yeah. I was like, okay.
But I guess Jodorowsky handed out money. If you supported his Kickstarter about his autobiography, he'd send you his own money. It's
Very
not worth
awesome.
anything in the real world, but he says it's worth something in the poetic world. So hey, there might be something behind this. This guy, you can make Holy Mountain in El Topo and Santo Sangre. I'll spend this in my dreams. I'm going to get something cool. You just watch. Don't
No doubt
ever
about that.
lose faith in magic, boys and girls. It's real. It's real. And the moment you stop believing in it, you get old. Okay? There is much more than just ice cream in the Ice Cream Man's freezer. Don't ever look inside and tempt fate.
Decapitated heads. Don't trust the Ice Cream Man.
You bring
It's
me
like
back
that,
to the neighborhood.
like that movie, The Burbs. You ever see The Burbs?
Oh, The Burbs is great.
Yeah, they talk
Absolutely.
about the urban legend of the Ice Cream Man.
Yeah.
That's stuck with me.
You working on anything these days?
Yeah, always working on something.
Hey, how you doing in Chainsaw Warrior? You beat that game yet?
I've never beaten it in my whole life.
You played it the other day for your birthday, didn't you?
Yeah, I played 2 games for my birthday, and I died both times. I died within the first 10 minutes because you got 60 minutes to save New York, and I died in the first 10 minutes. And the second one, I honestly thought I was going to win. I got so excited. And then a Kung Fu cultist beat me to hell, and I stepped on a landmine and blew up.
So if everybody doesn't know what we're talking about, Marty got me into this game. I'm trying to find a copy of it. I know it's online and all that, but I want to try the analog version of it.
Gotta have the analog.
Chainsaw Warrior by Games Workshop. I see Dak's going to be on a little bit. He's shaking his head. We'll talk about that too. But it sounds like some really good stuff. Solo gaming, there's nothing wrong with it. But I'll tell you what, there's nothing more humbling. And I've actually done this. One of the greatest gaming stores in the world. It's called the Citadel. It's in Groton, Connecticut. It's in the basement. Everything's still covered in dust. You can get old Ralph Partha there for $3.99. They got all sorts of stuff wrapped in the back in little baggies. But they got awesome stuff like that. I went down there once and I said, hey, do you have any games I can play by myself? And instead of them laughing at me, it's the first time I was there, they said, absolutely. And just to let you know, there's nothing wrong with that. It builds your stamina and stuff like that. So no problem about playing games in yourself. Sometimes your friends aren't around. So Chainsaw Warrior, we'll have to do a stream of that sometime, Marty.
Absolutely.
All right. Hey, Marty, you want to stick around and meet one of the coolest guys in the biz?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Now, you know what we got to do, everybody? We got a guest coming over, and we can't be slovenly, especially with this guy. He's all the way out in Los Angeles. All right. Probably just left the luncheon at the Kardashians. Excuse me, Reverend. All right. I got to put my, damn it. Every time I shave before the show and it burns, baby. It burns. Talk about practical effects. That's the, that hurts. Good old Spice, man. I don't know what they put. I think they put a little bit of toothpaste, olive oil, baby powder, and jalapenos. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, it is an honor and a privilege. And I'm not being superfluous here or insincere. I mean it. Reverend Dak Ultimac, the original, the OG. My man, the Reverend, are you in the house?
Yeah. Hey, everybody. I'm here.
Reverend.
Yeah.
Oh man, my face hurts already. Rev, I love you. Look,
Oh, thanks.
I'm collecting the whole set. Look at this, everybody.
I see it.
Reverend Dak is the man, Dickin. He is the man. Look at this. Look how beautiful these things are. Crawl fanzine. All right.
Yeah.
Now, you're more than just crawl, but let's just start off with the bang and then we'll get into the everything else. But listen, all right, everybody knows zines have been around for a while, whether they be music zines. I think Morrissey had a New York Doll zine that he started. He was like the president of the fan club. But there's been zines around for a long time. But Dak, correct me if I'm wrong, Crawl is the first DCC fanzine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even if it wasn't like the first one to hit the scene.
It was.
It is. All right, then it is.
It came out. There was only one other like third-party thing that came out. It's Steve Newton's thing. His came out around the same time as mine. And ours was the first two things for sure. His was a book and mine was a zine. We were the first things to come out.
And this, I'm not just trying to blow smoke or anything. To me, this is the catalyst for the greatness of the community we have right now. So thank you.
You're welcome. But I'm sitting on the shoulder of giants, actually.
But you started something of your own. And I know you're not going to take compliments, but listen, this is huge. This is revolutionary. It's revolutionary to many people. The show is not about me, all right? But I want to talk about me in that this lit such a fire in me that I immediately said, I need to make something. I was always a music guy, all right? I had bands. I loved writing songs. My songs were like narrative, kind of Nick Cave, Johnny Cash stuff. And it was this bridged me from, I used to write songs. I'm going to turn them into games. I'm going to turn those games into zines. So thank you for being such an inspiration to me. And I'm sure plenty of other people.
Yeah.
What got you, what burned the fire in you to do Crawl right out of the gate and be that innovator?
Okay. So I've been playing games since the 80s for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Satanic Panic was my jam. I was there. I saw it all. It was really funny. My mom was scared. She was scared. It took my dad to explain to my mom that it was just a game and it was just fantasy. Yeah. And only because my dad had an employee who played D&D. I was a kid.
I see.
Yeah. And it took my dad to like tell my mom that this is not this. It's not that evil. It's evil.
Yeah. Hey, make no mistake. There's a tinge.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, it's changed my brain a bit.
Yeah. I definitely learned about devils and demons. And
absolutely.
Like, yeah. It's like when a conversation with like my religious family comes up, it's like, well, I have Dragon 100. I have the stats for Satan.
Love it. Absolutely.
But yeah. I think I actually tried to release something during 3rd edition.
Okay.
And it just didn't really work out. But when this was coming along, I was already inspired by I've been playing it DCC since the beta. So that's a good year before the game actually came out. And so I was already working on it and I already got to know Joseph at that point, like somewhere halfway along during that time.
How did that come to be?
Well, I played at one of his open tables when he was still beta testing DCC. And he was living in Southern California at the time, and he had a game in Orange County. So I drove halfway across the county to another county and sat at a table and played DCC with Joseph.
And that's where this kind of blossomed.
I was able to talk to him, and so I already had a connection with him. And so when I came up with the idea with doing a zine for DCC, he was super happy about it. He was also really helpful in getting third-party people to make stuff for DCC. He knew that he knew that because he was a third-party guy for D&D.
Okay.
Right, for 3rd edition days, and that's where DCC comes from. Good Games. It's and so he shared it. He shared that skill and that knowledge because Goodman Games is not his day job.
Right. Yeah.
And so he has this giant company from some of our perspectives. It's not even his day job. Somehow he manages babies and moving and his day job.
In his day job on top of
Yeah.
it.
And so, but he was really encouraging other creators to step up and just do stuff. And it was really easy for me because I was into zines.
Yes.
Just like you're familiar with zines. I'm familiar with zines too, from all the different things, from political stuff, music. Bikini Kill was a zine
Oh, absolutely.
before it was a band.
Yes.
And
Yep.
stuff like that. And there's a lot of zines for zines and stuff like that. So I was already into zines. And right around, I think, I caught a whiff of like AEF, I forget what it's called, AFS, AEF. It's out of LA actually, and it's still made to this day. It's more of a thing where everybody contributes actual pages. Like back in the day, you had to send 50 copies of your pages.
Yes. Yeah.
And then she would take all the different ones and distribute them and make 50 copies of the magazine. I can't remember what that one was called, and it's still around actually, and it's still done kind of the same way. And there's some good stuff in that. And but during third edition, at the OSR is where it started. It's like the old when
Yes.
OSR started coming around, which basically was a reaction to 3.5, I guess.
Yep.
Kind of like Pathfinder kind of broke off.
Yeah.
And then fourth edition kind of like pushed everybody over the edge that like, I can't play this game anymore.
Different.
And so everybody started seeking out alternative versions of Dungeons and Dragons. And so OSR was pretty big, but there was a big giant zine scene already by that point. And there's people like Tim Shorts. Man, I wish I should have grabbed a bunch of these zines. There's like a box here somewhere of all my zines.
Your collection.
Before me. Like I have a stack of zines this tall of zines from just creators. A lot of it was free. We would just send it to each other for free. Somewhere is like, there was Leviatar was one of my favorites.
Okay.
Another guy out of LA, out of the Valley also. He was doing something, and it just really, it's like, this is easy. I could do this. I also worked in books, so I also had kind of an edge on people. Yeah.
That's what I was going to ask. So was there already a skill set there?
Yeah,
in the
for sure. For sure. Because I worked for this old mega chain from the 90s called Borders Books. They're no longer around, right?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, they died around the early 2000s, I think.
Yep.
And I worked for them for about 3.5 years. And I went all the way to assistant manager. And I was responsible for every book that came in and out. And I would buy books from like random people that self-printed their little books, and they would come in with a stack. And I'm like, I'll buy 5, and I'd have to talk them down to what. And so I started understanding like that aspect, and like getting the stuff out and shipping. So I learned a lot of stuff, even just selling books. But I went to school for graphic design.
Okay.
Yeah, there's just so many levels of things. So I had skills that I developed over the years that helped me get crawl off the ground. Like once I got them printed, I could separate and put like 200, 300 zines, staple them together, fold them into envelopes. I could do it in one day.
So that's okay. So I always wondered this about you. You printed and constructed these yourself?
In the early days, I did. Yeah.
Marty, imagine that.
First couple of years, yeah. I would get them printed.
Imagine that work.
Yeah. I would have to do like 100 at a time, 200 at a time. And which is what I would do, like 200 at a time. I'd just crank them out. Now, once you start learning, you start meeting printers. You don't have to do the hard work anymore. You just send them the PDFs, and then they just print them out, and they know what to do after you've developed a relationship with the printers. I have a local print shop in downtown, which I couldn't go to during COVID because downtown was locked down. There was a lot of weird stuff happening, but I can go there now. But they know what to do. I just send them the PDFs, and they know how to make my zines now, and so they just crank them out for me.
They have the recipe. So so right here is monumental. This is the Arwich grinder.
Oh yeah.
And everybody,
Daniel
if you're this is Daniel Bishop, right?
Yeah.
So this is neat too. This is what I really appreciate about Crawl. So let me finish my thought here. You want an awesome funnel, Arwich grinder right here, especially if you're in the Shutter Mountains, folks. This is scary. It's gross. It's awesome. Gross. It's intriguing. Yeah. That attic, that mess. I still think about that attic at least once a week.
Yeah. You have to You have to serve sausages on little sticks while you're playing that game. And,
I have so many images right now, but I don't want to spoil anything on this.
Yeah.
Tim DeShane, who's in the chat, he ran this through. We were at in the basement of a brewery where they were serving food. I think I had a hot dog, and kind of got me a little bit weird. One of the reasons I'm a vegetarian now. Sorry, Marty. I know that stings. I know that stings. I don't.
Not on. You're hurting me.
What? So this is you. How many total issues? I'm trying to think if I have. If I'm up to date. 12.
You look like you're up to 9. We're up to 12 right now.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So I have some pieces missing. They're on the Goodman site, and they're also at Stray Couch Press.
Yeah, I think the easiest way to get it is from the Goodman game site. If you go to crawlfanzine.com, it'll send you to the right place.
They are cheap. How I don't know how you keep your shirt on.
Because nobody's making money off of them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but that's
just
cool.
work. Yeah.
And that's it's a labor of love in it, and you can see it in every single page. What I was going to say is I love that this is a community zine. You know, you look through these and there's contributions. So that's a lot of management, Dak. What is your personal favorite Crawl issue?
Probably the 2 class ones. I mean, well, there's number 2. Number 2 is really good because that's like a good standby to have with you, because it's just like if you need to roll up a random table of a treasure and stuff. Yeah. And then number 6 is good, or number 5 is good, the monster issue, because you can just open it up in the middle and you can create a monster. Just like you could just eyeball a monster really quick, just like open it up in the middle. That's where the monster chart is.
I think I ordered this in the Arwich Grinder as my first purchases. That's what got me into Crawl.
Yeah, the centerfold for that one is just like a thing how to make this, like making monsters, and and that you can find that online. You don't have to buy the zine to get that table.
Don't sell yourself short, buddy. You got to pay the bills. Joseph's got to pay the bills. So you brought up something interesting, and it's something that I continue to struggle with, is the balance between work and hobby, especially if work and hobby intersect. How do you maintain that balance?
Not very well. Yep. I'm going to be straight up. I haven't released the Crawl in probably 3 years. I have bits and pieces of like 2 or 3 issues, and I have maybe 2 or 3 issues about 50-60% written.
Okay.
I've only started play testing 2 of those. I've kind of gone and then balancing. I also, not so secretly, I also work for Goodman Games. I do a lot of the editing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I did I did the editing for X-Raw Classics, which is coming out. I did Mutant Crawl Classics, and then a ton of modules, like most of the modules.
So there's a big overlap between hobby and occupation.
Yeah, and it's fine, and it's good. And that's not the only things I do. I also have, I actually have other hobbies. Like I go hiking and I ride bikes, and I'm a soccer fan, which is kind of blows people's minds, but that's kind of the only sport I like is soccer.
Sure. But no, I respect that. It's interesting you bring that up, because I was I was looking for a quote from Steal Like an Artist today. And one of the things I hit upon that was also something I almost was going to be the backup quote, was about don't sell yourself short with hobbies. Just because you're passionate about one, don't lose sight of all the other wonderful stuff, because that inherently will bring you inspiration. If you pour that, if there's just one funnel going into that jar, it's not going to be a great recipe. You're going to lose something somewhere.
Yeah.
So like I took a break from writing for a while because it was kind of eating at me. So I started to do these stupid half-hour paintings. You know, I showed them last time. I got like I got a black canvas, white paint, red paint. I'm going to do a portrait a day for a half hour. And man, the next thing you know, I'm like, hey, this is going to be a monster manual. You know, I'm going to stack these guys up. So my painting then overlapped into that, which made me think, oh, I could do some synth stuff or some music stuff about this. Now, Marty and I, we talk about this often because he and I work on games together. We meet weekly to discuss a couple of projects we're working on, and I'm always reaching for that golden ring. I'm like, oh, when are we gonna hit it, buddy? When are we gonna hit it so I can press the red button and we can be game designers, and we can stream these kind of shows and do the gaming. And he's got this drive. Marty, you got it. You're a dad. You got a serious job. How do you make that? We've never even talked about this personally. How do you make that balance?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. I just kind of go hard and then just grind it out when the kids are sleeping. Really.
Yeah, you gotta make that time.
And
that's
bug
a good
you.
dad.
Try to keep bugging you. You never respond to my text, Joey.
Baloney.
Well,
This goes back to what we talked about before, folks. It's like, it's good to have friends to bounce things off of and to carry some of the load. All right. You can't do all this stuff by yourself. You're going to need to take a break. Like Dax said, you need to pursue some other hobbies so you can add a little bit more to the recipe. So you do have some crawls coming out eventually.
Yeah. And speaking of friends, like one of the guys in my formerly weekly, we haven't played in a while, but was he's my editor. Like,
oh, okay.
I can't edit myself.
No.
Like I edit Harley and Michael Curtis and them, but I can't edit myself. So I have someone doing the editing for me, and that's my friend Brad, who's you might see at Gen Con. I think he's going to come out to Gen Con. And I think that's important, and it helps. And I bounce off my ideas off that guy, and he's always in the play tests. And we're gonna go play some DCC this weekend it's DCC day this weekend.
Yes, it is on my wife's birthday. I love you, hun. Sarah Royale. Yeah, the 16th. So now we were talking before the show, the gaming scene in LA.
Oh yeah, it's weird. It's growing. But from my perspective, it looks like just D&D is growing, and everything else is kind of in the background. But it's there. There's only one shop of all the game shops in LA that's going to have DCC day, and there were only like 3 or 4 that did free RPG day. And there's more than that game shops, but I think most of the game shops are board games, I guess, and D&D.
But I mean, to Marty's point too, with Stranger Things, that brought D&D gaming even more. Like I'm getting texts from some coworkers that are just starting to find out, because I keep this life a little bit secret so I can enjoy this life, because I have a job in the public eye, and I want to keep things separate so I can continue. I like having 2 worlds. All right. That's why there's Clark and there's Superman. You got to do 2 things. You got to pay the bills, but you also have to kill beasts. But Stranger Things is bringing this to the light now. I got people texting me, hey, I heard you might be into D&D. You want to run some games? And I immediately want to be like, well, actually, I'm into DCC, Lords of the Toxic Wasteland. But you gotta let them in. All right, you gotta let them in. Of us. Yeah. So,
give them a little lolly.
Yeah. What? So give him a little lolly. Get in the van. Yeah. Get in the wizard van. Thanks, Marty. I'm glad. Remember that time that guy picked you up in the van and he left you out? He kicked you out 2 blocks later.
Yeah, he actually paid me $10 to get out.
To get out. It was like that. It was like the O. Henry. You ever read that? There's an O. Henry short story that my father introduced to me, and I think it's the Ransom of Red Chief, and it's about 2 guys that that kidnap a little kid. And they can't get rid of him fast enough because the kid's such a rotten brat. I highly recommend O. Henry. I think he also wrote The Gift of the Magi. I had a couple more questions for you. I won't keep you too long, because I know the sun is going to start to go down out there in California. That's when the Lost Boys come out and the vampires come, or so Tom Petty tells me. So I asked you about balancing it. So are you actively rolling dice?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I hope it's been a minute. COVID was on and off, but I haven't played anything in a few months for sure. But I'm signed up to play a game this Saturday.
We met for the first time on a Blades Against Bandwidth.
Yeah,
I was asked to be one of those rotating seats of the Wizard, and you were such a gentleman, unprovoked, unsolicited. I'll never forget this, Dak, and this is why I want to have you on for a time and let everybody know how great this community is. As you said to me at the end of it, I'll never forget it. Hey, Joey, if you ever need help with anything, give me a ring. And hearing that from a guy I idolized, you know, I did Crawl, I got it all over my room. I had it like in one of them in a frame. And that meant so much to me. And it inspired me to keep on going. Like, you know, there's always imposter syndrome that strikes all the time. But a guy like you, it was like the guy at the record store when you're a kid that you always want to impress by bringing up the album. Like, oh, I heard this is cool. So he says, yeah. But that meant a lot to me, man. And that's why, like, we do this show to kind of carry this on to everybody and spread that kind of love. So do you prefer judging or do you prefer playing?
I don't play enough to have an opinion. I mostly judge. Yeah, I find myself mostly judging only because I'm probably the only one that's like, hey, let's play.
Yeah.
And I enjoy playing. I enjoy both, really. I take the same kind of style to both. So I'm playing whether I'm the judge or a player.
Yeah, sure. That's well. But Marty, when's the last time you played in a game? I mean, you run, right?
Last time I played was Weird Heroes of Public Access.
That's right. That's right.
Shoving lemon pies down alien throats.
Yeah.
That's right. And you finally made up with your stepfather at the carnival. That was a beautiful scene. Dak, what he's talking about is I recently came up with a game called Weird Heroes of Public Access, where you play public access hosts with special powers, and you have to defend your town against you know, creepiness. We were talking about cold check before and all that. So so that's I always want, you know, I think you can't be a great judge unless you're a player, and I can't, you know, right? I always think it's good as a player to take that step, as uncomfortable it can be, especially online. I remember that was my first time playing online with you guys. I was a nervous.
Oh, really?
wreck. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that was right around the time I think Cobra came out and Ninja City came out at the same time. And Brandon asked me to run some Ninja City games. I'm like, oh, I was like literally sweating. But luckily I had an awesome crew and we made it all work.
Yeah.
So what's a little bit piece of advice? We're hitting, we got about 5 minutes left. What's some advice if you got somebody in the basement, listen to Black Sabbath, getting the Nog Chomper going, staring at the black light saying, I gotta make something. How do you fight that fire?
Make it. Just do it. Just make it. Yeah, even it's not gonna suck. I mean, or it's gonna suck. It doesn't matter. Just make it.
Do it now.
Yeah,
do it now.
Oh man.
Do it now.
I say that every time. It's just make it. And if you need help, ask. Like there's people like me. I will answer questions. I help everybody who asks. Some people are a little scared of me, I guess. But
if you message me,
look at this ugly face.
I won't stop talking if you message me. I will bug you.
So,
but
folks,
you can message.
You got Dak, you got Cousin Marty, aka I'm gonna pull the thing back, the Neon Lord,
the veil,
Neon Lord of the Toxic Wasteland. Check out Crawl. I can't. So, what's anything else other than Crawl on the hot plate that you can discuss? I know you do Secret Goodman stuff. Or if not, if there's anything out there that
no, not really. Yeah, just Crawl. I'm still working on. They're gonna when they come out, they're gonna come out floodgates. 14 might come out before 13. I don't know. We'll see.
That'd be cool. That'd be real cool. Keep an eye out for that. Hey, any good music you've been listening to lately?
Oh yeah, tons actually.
Give me a couple of good albums that we should listen to.
There's a new. I actually had Bandcamp open just a minute ago, just a second ago. Maybe it's still open. I discovered a new band called Black Fellflower Stream. Oh no, that's the album. The band's called Sunrise Patriot Motion. It's kind of like psychedelic metal.
Wait, Sunrise what?
Sunrise Patriot Motion.
Ooh, all right.
And the name of the album that they just released is called Black Fellflower Stream. It's like, I would say, kind of death metal with psychedelic. It's actually kind of melodic. It's good. I like it.
Are we talking like Uncle Acid kind of stuff?
I don't know Uncle Acid.
Okay. There's one for you. Check them out. Uncle Acid and the Deadbeats.
Okay. Uncle Acid.
That's a really good one. All right, so I got that down. Sunrise Patriot Motion. Yeah, I'm gonna look that up as an album.
Big fan of Conan.
Absolutely.
They got a new album coming out.
Marty's nodding his head.
Yeah,
I like the Conan.
There's an indie rock band from the last 20 years called I'm blanking on it. Where is it? Sea Power. It's called Sea Power. It's an indie rock band from England. They used to
Okay.
be called British Sea Power.
Oh yeah,
Very
yeah, yeah,
cool.
yeah.
And their newest album is really good. They did the soundtrack for this computer role-playing game called Disco Elysium.
Okay.
So they did the soundtrack for that. So that kind of brought me back to brought their attention back. I was like, oh, I remember these guys in the early 2000s. So I've been listening to that a lot. I'm listening to some old stuff too. I've been listening to the old Cure albums from before Disintegration.
Me too, man. Me too.
Yeah.
I've been on a Cure kick lately.
Yeah.
I've
Head on the Doors. Really good.
I will check that one out. I'm just looking through some of the stuff I've earmarked lately. But yeah, that is
Oh, I want to share one thing for sure.
please.
Yeah. This is the coolest thing. Skate Wizards.
Oh yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
So Uncle Marty and cousin Marty and I just we had him on. We had him on our show.
You had Loot
You
the
got
Body.
you got the whole set?
I got the cassette. Did you
Nice.
have Michael? Did you have Michael or Loot the
We had Loot the Body on.
Rad? Yeah.
I want to get some original artwork from Michael.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Loot the Body. Everybody, if you haven't listened to them yet, they're awesome. Skate Wizards, definitely check that out. Very inspirational to me. That's kind of what lit my firecracker for Stay Sick, for my cramps thing. That's what got me going, really.
Send me one of those, please.
Yes, absolutely. You bet. You bet. Well, that's cool. Marty, what have you been listening to lately? Any good grind?
Not necessarily in the grind right now. Some new wave, old school thrash metal of a band called Belushi Speedball.
Okay, that is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles video you sent me.
Yeah, that's an older song. They got a new album out called What Us Worry?
Alfred E. Newman, Belushi Speedball.
Belushi Speedball.
All right, listen. Somebody the other day sent, I think they put a message on the Facebook or something about they want a list of all the stuff that we talk about. So I'm going to start doing that, folks. I'm going to this week. I'm going to start making a Google link that I'll post every month, so you guys can look at all the stuff that we've been talking about.
You could probably post it in like the recaps or
yeah. That's what I'm going to start doing. Before we head out for the night, I'm going to ask each of you one statement of wisdom to share with the world, gaming or not. But before we do that, ladies and gentlemen, never has the DCC community been more bright and shining and powerful than the Aaron Coleman auction. That's all I can say before I get choked up. But beautiful, Aaron, we love you. Any words of wisdom before we head out?
I got my one. I outdid myself last week. I'm going to go with my same one this week, so I can go last if you need me to.
All right, Dak, what do you want to tell the world?
Tell the world, man. I'm gonna have to sound like a broken record. Just do it. Just do it.
That's all you need, man.
Yeah,
Just do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Share this. I like, and share the stuff that you've been enjoying. Yeah, I think that helps too.
I think that's the theme of today's show: is do it. Not only do it, but share it.
And do it now.
Do it now.
Hey, man.
Listen, he's not joking. Do it now. You never know. You never know when it's going to happen. Do it now. Leave something. You never know. Every day is a gift. All right, cousin Marty.
You call me uncle. I ain't your uncle. I'm your cousin. All right. Hard work pays off. Dreams come true. Bad times don't last, but bad guys do.
Beautiful.
Words to live by right there. A little Scott Hall, rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Razor Ramon. Don't you know I'm loco?
Hey,
all right.
Yo, Chico.
Dak, thank you for all that you do, for the inspiration, for the friendship, and for the support. Cousin Marty, you are a constant inspiration to me. Your drive is nothing short of incredible, and your creativity. And last but certainly not least, Elena, the puppet master behind this all. You are incredible. You are such a gift to the DCC community and to everything in between. Thanks for helping me look good. Well, I won't say look good, but get through this without falling on the ground and cracking my skull open. So thank you for everything, Elena. And thank you to the audience. If you want Stay Sick, I'll send you the PDF, lordblood@gmail.com, LORDBLUDD@gmail.com. Get out there and do it. Reach out if you ever need anything. And if you do make something, folks, or if you have something to share, you have an open invite to my show. We do it every month, once a month, usually on a Wednesday or Thursday, right in the middle. I love you all. Now go out there and enjoy the world. You never know. Boom, boom. You never know. So have fun.
Brutal.
All right, Elena, send us out.